And welcome to SA Sports Show. I'm Greg Anderson, your co-host Barry Curtin. Barry, last show, and I've got it.
Final.
The great man's gone. He's on holidays already, and I've taken the chair for the last show. So
brilliant
for the year.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, we've had a couple of good shows.
I've looked at the running sheet.
Yeah,
pretty exciting. My old teammate Scotty Hodges coming on.
Yes.
Close friend of both of us, Darren Cale, as well. So we've got some pretty exciting.
He's a part. This is a part 2 of Darren.
Yes, it is.
This is a part 2 of Darren. We did down at the Goodwood Tennis Club.
That's right.
Fantastic guy, and most underrated in SA.
World sport, and a great South Australian.
And fantastic South Australian. And I see where he's just been nominated as well for an award, for a coaching excellence award at the Newcomb Medal.
Wow.
So he'll win that, he'll get that, and he deserves it. I mean, if you look at his track record, it is quite staggering. And he is one of the most sought after coaches in the world. Yeah. Not here, in the world. People are still ringing him.
It's going to be
But
great.
I believe he's stopped.
Yeah.
I believe he's given it a miss for a while.
And a little bit about cricket. I know the last time I was on, we spoke about cricket, and you were very strong on how the Australians were handling the situation with the suspensions of Smith and Warner, and then of course how the team's actually going.
We're struggling.
We're struggling.
Yeah. But you know what it is, Ando? I look at it. If you look at this generation of cricketers that are playing for us at the moment, they're brought up in the 2020 era. Right? They're brought up in the 2020 era. If you look at a guy like Usman Khawaja, who was brought up before that, he would know how to build an innings 50 overs. He push around. These guys don't push around. It's just go.
So they're playing a bit similar in all the games now.
The T20 has just taken over. If you look at the dismissal of our captain, Finch, in the last game, he just holed out in the mid-on third over. I mean, there's 47 overs to go, mate.
So do we just pick
you know what I mean?
8? Do we pick different teams for?
Well, it's a really tricky one now because
there's 3 now.
The talent in that team.
50-50, T20s and Test.
Yeah. You should
all different games.
Yeah, a couple of blokes could play both forms, but it's very dangerous because they're T20 players.
They go from one smacking over 6 to all of a sudden 3 for 10, and you've got to just save yourself, and you're sort of thinking, hang on,
I'm going
to whack this over the fence. Yeah.
We forget how long the 50 over game is.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
You love your cricket, don't you, Brazil?
Well,
you love
I do.
You're not happy at the moment, though?
I'm as happy as most Australian, the Australian public.
Yeah.
Not happy at all with it. But if you analyse it and look at it, and look at that whole team, look at their top 6 batsmen, they are all T20 blokes. They are all brought up in that T20 era. Finch has holed out 2 or 3 times now. Marcus Stoinis has holed out early in his innings 2 or 3 times. If they looked at the way the South Africans batted in that game, Du Plessis and Miller, perfect. Absolutely perfect for one-day cricket. You know, and they both end up getting 100
So
each.
we really can't have the best of all these 3 worlds. That's what you're saying.
No.
We're going to talk more about that.
Ridiculous.
But right now we're going over to Ashley with the latest news.
Thanks, boys. What a cracker show ahead. It's been a slow start to the season for the Adelaide 36ers after they fell to the Sydney Kings over the weekend. Now, it's not all bad news for the Adelaide camp, with powerhouse forward Demetrius Conger set to join the 36ers immediately. Dubbed a scoring machine, Conger was runner-up in last year's MVP race and adds much-needed height and strength to the side. The Sixers must find some form with a win over the Illawarra Hawks tomorrow afternoon. Sticking with basketball, and the Adelaide Lightning put on a dominant display against the Dandenong Rangers, getting the job done with an impressive 25 points. The Lightning will strike again tonight at home. To the A-League, and Adelaide United have suffered their first loss after going down to ladder leaders Perth Glory over the weekend. The Reds dominated possession but struggled in the striking end. A-League will take a short break as international duties for players begin to ramp up. Adelaide United's next battle will be against Wellington Phoenix at Westpac Stadium in a couple weeks' time. And the Adelaide Bite have struck a significant deal with the Major Baseball League in China on the eve of the ABL season opening. Some of Asia's best young baseballers will train and play for the Bite in their local off-season. Executive General Manager Shane Smallacombe hopes the deal will bring international exposure to the Bite, placing them on the world map. The Bite's first home game is next Thursday against the Melbourne Aces. The 2018 Whyalla Open was held over the weekend, bringing together some of the country's best open, graded and junior squash players. South Australia's Jason Mudge took out the Open's title, defeating Queensland Thomas Calvert in an entertaining matchup. The SA Juniors also proving they are talents to be watched, taking home the Division 1 title. In hockey, South Australian women's under-23 hockey players Yulina McLaughlin and Michaela Spano have ended their impressive run in China with a 5-2 loss to Germany. The development team concluded their tour with 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 defeats. Women's hockey continues as the Hockey Rouge travel to China for the 2018 Champions Trophy, which kicks off tomorrow. Well, it's been a pleasure reading the news for you this year. I'm signing off and I'll see you next time. We'll be back with more after the break.